Alright guys, check it out. This is my Skat Blast sandblasting cabinet. Let's hook it up and check it out. If you're doing any type of restoration where a sandblasting cabinet is a must, they are awesome to have and it makes getting rid of the old rust and paint easy. That's why I picked up the Skat Blast cabinet sold by TP Tools and Equipment. I'll leave a link in the description. They are made in the USA. They are third generation family company. These guys are true car enthusiasts. They have a car collection. They're up in Canfield, Ohio. Family owned, third generation. Go check out the website. Make sure you use my discount code WCT25 for an additional discount. This is the vacuum. It's a vacuum and a filter, and it sucks out the fine particles in the dust as you're sandblasting, runs it through a filter. The heavy stuff falls to the bottom of that container. So this is the cabinet. I put a dolly on the bottom of it so I can move it around the shop. I'm not sure exactly where I want to put this in the shop. And this is my garage at home. I might actually take it out to the farm and set it up out there. In my garage here, I got a small 2-car garage. It actually used to be a carport. It fits fine. Now they have smaller units, they have tabletop units, and they have larger units. So go check them out. They'll have the size that you want. What's cool about this one, it's got doors on both sides and it's got a huge window to look through. Here's some of the parts that it came with. It's got a foot switch, it's got 2 LED lights, the hose for the vacuum, and some other parts. We're gonna go ahead and get these installed. Here's the actual gun. This is what you hook the air hose up to, and this is what the material comes out of. Skat Blast has their own mix. It's called Skat Magic. Skat Blast Incorporated, Canfield, Ohio. Made in USA. Feels like a really well-made piece. It comes with instructions, step-by-step, how to hook everything up, recommendations, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna install the lights real quick. It comes with 2 LED lights with switches and outlets on them, and they go on top of the machine. And you can see here, there's some foam that keeps the dust from going in or out of there. Real easy to hook up. Just a couple of wing nuts, and it holds it down real tight. And you can adjust these lights however you need to. So I'm just getting everything set up here. We're running the hose through the cabinet. This is the short hose. This comes with the unit and it goes from the gun to the foot switch. And the other hoses you have to supply. You have to supply the air to the foot switch from your compressor. You want to make sure you filter that air so that you have a moisture separator, because you don't want moisture getting into your sand. It'll clog up the gun. So we're just getting the gun hooked up here, the foot switch. It's all pretty straightforward. We run inside, you hook up this tube. This is where the sand comes from. So it pulls the sand up through that tube to the gun and then out the tip. Pulling off the protective film that they put on the glass for shipping. And underneath that, there's another protective layer, and the glass is in between. So on the inside of the cabinet, there is a protective film that you can replace because it gets scratched up, the sand flying around in there. There's also a protective film on the outside. All right, guys, we got it all hooked up. Only thing we got to do is put the sand in it, and it is ready to go. It'll be our first test. See how well it works. We've got everything hooked up, piped in. We've got our water catcher here, air pressure, vacuum. Everything's hooked up, the foot pedal. We got our electrical hooked up. Turn the lights on here. Look at that. Boom. It is bright in there, guys. Really bright. And this is model 9636. This one's awesome. It's got doors on both sides. It's got a tall top. They have smaller ones and they have bigger ones. They've been making these for 3 generations, guys. The grandpa came up with this idea, from what I heard, way back. And they've been making them here in America ever since. So 3 generations, family owned, Skat Blast cabinets. They have all kinds of stuff for restoration work. All right, guys, let's put the Skat Magic in there. This is their special blend. Let's get it in there and test this thing out. All right, there it is. Skat Magic. There it goes. The Skat Magic is in. Everything's hooked up. Let's put our first piece in there and see what happens. All right, let's try our first piece. This is out of the VW bus. It's on the steering column, and you can see it is filthy. Rust, paint, dirt. It's nasty. You can see how nice and bright it is in here. The light is amazing. Let's try it. We're going to break it in. All right, guys, let's see what happens. All right, let's break it in. Here we go. Oh yeah. Right away. It's working really quick. That's awesome. Forgot to turn the vacuum on. Let's get the vacuum on. It's got a filter here. It sucks in the dust from the cabinet, and the heavy particles come to the bottom so you can recycle them, and then the light particles get filtered. There's a filter in here, and then it exhausts out here. So we're going to exhaust whatever might get through. Will go out here. Let's go ahead and turn it on. It's pretty quiet too. And we want to be running, it recommends to be running around 80, so let's get some more juice running through there. We'll have to turn the compressor on. Here we go. All right, we got the pressure up just over 80. So we'll experiment with different pressures, but we're right around just over 80. Comes with a really good manual, step by step, how to get everything set up and recommendations. But right here it says we recommend a 5-horse, 10 to 15 CFM at 80 PSI. We've got a little bit more than that. We've got 19 CFM at 90 PSI. Let's turn the vacuum on. Let's try it again. All right, we turned the vacuum off. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it cuts quick, guys. Really quick. Looks good. Now this piece is in pretty bad shape. It's got some issues here, so if we want to save it, we'll have to fill in some spots here with some weld and grind it down and maybe put a little filler on it. But I think you can buy these new, pretty sure. But you know, if you wanted to save it, if it was in decent shape, you could clean it real quick with the sandblaster. Let's try this. This is actually a brand new piece that I ordered. But because it's bare steel, it's bare steel, so in Florida it's already starting to rust. So what I want to do is get this surface rust off of here and then I'll spray it with some OSFO to protect it until we actually need to use it. Let's see how it takes off this surface rust. Should be real quick. Let's turn the vacuum on. This is the exhaust here, so I just got it blowing out. The filter should be catching most of it, but if there's a little bit left over, it'll blow it right outside. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's cutting right through it. All right, before I open the door, I let the vacuum run for about a minute. Just get some of that dust out of there before we open the door and it blows us in the face. All right, it's working good, guys. Yeah, the vacuum works really good to get all the dust out of there. Let's see how this thing looks. Oh yeah, rust is gone. There's a few little areas I missed, but I mean, that was only a couple minutes, so you could hit it again and knock it down. It's looking good. So here's the brake pedal or the clutch pedal out of the bus, and you can see it's pretty dirty and rusty. This is something we need to save. It's in good shape, it's just got rust on it, old paint. I just pulled the rubber boot off. You can see the rust and paint on there. We need to get this to bare metal so we can paint it and make it look new again. Let's do it. That was quick. What was that? 20 seconds? Got the top of it all cleaned up. It is bare metal. It's got that cool finish on it. Ready for paint. It's in good shape. Pretty cool. It's ready for paint. Alright guys, you can get smaller units, bigger units. The reason I got this one is because it's got doors on both sides, which adds a lot of flexibility depending on what you're loading and what part of the shop you have it in. I like that option. I like the taller ceiling because you can get bigger items in there. Yeah, so this one is just perfect, I think, for what I'm doing. I like the idea of being able to put this door in there if I want to. Like, I could put that whole door in there, and I probably will at some point. Now the top part of this door will come off. The glass and this frame right here, that'll come off, so that'll make it even easier to get in there, but you could probably get that whole door in there. It's probably would fit. Those doors will fit for sure. That whole steering column will fit in there because it needs to be sanded and blasted. You could fit wheels in there, seats. All those things need to be sandblasted, especially the seats. I mean, they have these little springs and stuff on them that are all rusted out. But we'll definitely be able to get the dash in there. This whole dash is going to come off. Sandblast it. Let me show you this. This is the rear. Something like this is perfect. There's plenty of room for this. This is the rear engine apron, I think is what they call it. And this one's in really good shape. It's got some surface rust on it and old paint. But other than that, it's in really good shape. So we're going to save this, because to buy this new, I think it's around $300 plus shipping. So if you can sand it, paint it, you'll save that money. Let's see how quickly it takes this rust and paint off. It looks good. There's some little spaces that we missed, but we can get back in there and do that. But for the most part, it's taken all of this off and a little bit up here in a few minutes. So a few more minutes, you could probably, another 10 minutes or so, you probably have this whole thing done. So about 15 minutes total. And it gets it real smooth. Ready for paint. You can totally tell the difference if this is rough and it just gets down in the grooves. There's some little spaces here that we could go over again. It gets in all the little cracks and crevices. Just blasts its way in there. Yeah, it looks good. Let's try this engine cover. It's a piece of engine tin that goes on a Volkswagen engine, and it's been painted, but it has a lot of chips and scratches and stuff on it. It's going to need to be repainted at some point. So let's try this, see how it removes the paint. We'll just do half of it and see what it looks like. And again, you can see how much room you have in here, guys. You can get a full-size wheel in here. All right, let's see what it does to this paint on this tin. Probably knock it right off. Look at how fast it strips this paint off. Wow. That is awesome. All right, that was very satisfying, watching that paint come off. It came off fast too. So there's no rust, there's just paint, and it just ate right through it. Pretty cool. Perfect for something like this. See how smooth it is? It's a really, I mean, it's a rough finish, but it's perfect for painting. You can blow it off, get the dust off of it, and get it ready for paint. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. That looks awesome. Alright guys, there it is. Pretty cool Skat Blast sandblasting cabinet. Go check them out. I'll leave the link in the description. This thing's awesome. This is model 9636. tptools.com. Family owned, 3 generations. Go check them out. They have all kinds of restoration tools and products. And guys, these are very reasonably priced. I think they have a sale going on right now too, so go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you use my discount code at checkout, WCT25. All right, guys, I approve. This thing is really cool. It's very easy to use, and you get great results. Go check them out, TP Tools. This is their Skat Blast dry blast system, made in the USA. Really, really nice unit. And they have smaller ones, they have bigger ones. Go check them out, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Later.